my name is Eric Mugendi. I am Senior Editor at Africa Uncensored. And we're here today at Maseno University to talk to the students about digital media literacy and safety. So my session focused on verification and fact-checking, which involves making sure that the information people are consuming is authentic and genuine. And in addition to that, giving people the means to verify information for themselves, which is a function of media and information literacy. Because as the world changes and as the places where we get information are changing as well, we're at a point where it's no longer clear where people can get authentic and verified information for themselves, because mainstream media is struggling and upcoming digital media is also struggling because sometimes it's capacity, sometimes it's resources, sometimes it's skill. But overall, as we find ourselves in these spaces and in these situations, it's important for people to learn how to verify information for themselves. So I spoke about information disorder, which is how we find ourselves in a situation where the information you're consuming is not genuine. So it's a classification where you have misinformation, which is generally false information that is shared sometimes without malicious intent, but the person sharing it doesn't know that the information is not genuine. And then disinformation is where you have false information being shared by bad actors and people who are hoping to achieve something with this information. Usually it's a bad intention. And then malinformation is authentic information that is put in the public domain in a way that is going to cause harm. So understanding these things is really important, first of all, because we need to put ourselves in a position where we understand how we can verify this information using the technology tools available to us. So doing things like reverse image searches and learning more about verification and fact-checking from that investigative perspective, because investigative journalism and fact-checking have a really strong overlap. We use the same tools to investigate that we do when we're doing fact-checking. So it's important to learn how to use these tools. A lot of them are really user-friendly. They're free. You can use them on your phone. So before you share information, I'd say the most important thing is to make sure that whatever you're sharing has been verified. And if it's false, don't share it until you actually make sure you know who it's from, what it says, and what you can share about it additionally, so that we find ourselves in a position where we are responsible first for the information we're sharing. We don't just share things for the sake of it, but at the very least we need to make sure that anything we put out is verified, and anything we see that might be false needs to also be verified.
My name is George Nyabuga. I'm the Associate Dean at the Graduate School of Media and Communications here at Khan University in Nairobi. I was focusing on digital media literacy. As you know, a majority of us have access to digital media platforms. And as Eric said, a lot of the information that we're currently accessing or currently consuming is via digital media platforms. And it's important for us to understand what these digital media platforms are as a way of ensuring that we understand what it is that they do, how it is that people appropriate them, and how people use them to share information. And more importantly, know how to utilize them to, of course, produce and distribute content for various audiences. In addition to that, it is important to understand what exactly they mean in the context of media and mediation of information. As we know, media literacy is important because we oftentimes ask ourselves about the credibility, reliability, and accuracy, and even the truthfulness of the information that is shared via various media platforms. So if we take, for instance, the issue of accuracy, which is very important in the context of journalism, we constantly ask ourselves how accurate information is that is shared via all these platforms, including social media platforms that a majority of young people tend to appropriate and domesticate and, of course, use for various reasons, but more importantly, to share that information. And consequently, if we want information that is reliable and credible, we must understand these media platforms. And this is where media literacy comes in. The other thing is, of course, knowing how to utilize these platforms, because we increasingly democratizing information production and distribution. And if we are democratizing that information production, it means that we must have the skills to be able to utilize these platforms to ensure that we are responsible, we are accountable for our actions, and that we understand the consequences of sharing especially unverified information or information that would be damaging to society. So understanding a range of issues relating to appropriation, use, and appropriation and use, of course, of these platforms is important for our future as journalists, as media professionals, and as communicators.
My name is Abraham Marita. I work with Internus as a project director. We are glad for the partnership we've had with Maseno University, and that has led us to come here today, where we have conducted a digital media literacy training for journalism students and also for the lecturers. The aim of this training has been brought about by a project we're running called the Kenya Safe Inclusive Digital Space, that has basically come to empower young journalism students to be able to critically assess information digitally in order to prevent spread of harmful speech, spread of mis and disinformation. The training we have conducted today is a first step towards enabling these young journalists to be able to acquire those skills, but as well as we'll have continued mentorship that will ensure that they can become a better journalist once they go to practice. In addition to the training we have conducted, we also have online short courses that we have provided for the journalism students to be able to take up. One of them is for harmful speech tracking and platform accountability, so that the journalists can be able to start understanding what is it that they can look out for in social media platforms that interact with all the time, to be able to identify and expose these to the platform so that the platforms can be able to take action and make the digital space a safer space for everyone.
My name is Ida Modhoni Macharia. I'm a second year here in Maseno University. Today the Internus have really impacted us with a very powerful session where I've learned a lot of skills in the context of journalism as I pursue my course. I've learned the skill of digital media literacy, where I have been taught how to use the media platforms to generate my content, and knowing very well I am responsible in how to disseminate it, not causing any harm or causing any information disorders. I've also learned how to use the information disorder tools and why I use them, and how to ask the right questions so that I can unmask the information disorders and generate the right and actual news to the public.
My name is Ian Baraka. I'm a second year media student at Maseno University. Actually, I've benefited a lot from the Africa censorship. Then the Internus guys, actually, the thing that I've learned a lot personally is about, the deep fake, also how to track, how to verify information, maybe the reverse imaging stuff, and the thing about verifying information. Also, what I'm happy about Internus is about their short courses, like, you get there, it's free, you get to learn.
Chris Power, a fourth year media student specializing in public relations. Today, we had a conference with the Internus and the Africa Uncensored, which I really learned a lot, especially on matters reporting, journalism, where we've been taught about fact-checking, privacy, data. So I've really learned a lot, actually, and from now on, it is my duty as a student whom sooner is becoming a real or a professional journalist, to use the acquired skills and make sure that in the professional journalistic world I provide the best and give out credible information as required by the journalistic codes, ethics and principles of journalism.